Hey guys, it's Ryan here with HobbiesofaMan once again, and today we're doing another comic book review. Today we're looking at Transformers issue 15, which looks freaking awesome. That looks so cool. I love that cover. So it's by Daniel Warren Johnson as the writer. Jorge Corona comes back, so I guess that the guy that was doing it before, Jason something, was only there for the 2-issue Starscream arc, and we're gonna have Jorge Corona as the main artist going forward. However, Mike Spicer is not actually here this time for the coloring and the lettering and stuff. We have Sarah Stern this time, and I feel like Sarah Stern has worked with Daniel Warren Johnson before, but I'm not really sure. My thought is always Daniel Warren Johnson works with Mike Spicer, but I guess that's not always the case, right? Maybe this is due to Jorge Corona's input, right? I'm not really sure, but overall, very good issue. I really enjoyed it. I thought this was a nice return to our main story. I'm very happy to see Optimus Prime again and follow our main characters again, so good stuff there. So this book opens up with the Decepticons in Tacoma, Washington, just indiscriminately destroying a city, killing humans. And the thing is that even though they're doing it indiscriminately, they're not actually happy about this. At least a few of them seem to have a dislike for the loss of innocent lives that they are causing, right? But they know that ultimately the death of these people is going to lead to their goal of getting rid of the Autobots, and so they continue to do so. And partially, I think it's also more of a survival thing. Soundwave mentions the fact that this planet, Earth, is a place abound with resources and energy, and it's much better than their dead husk of a world that is Cybertron. And so they're basically terraforming it by killing all of the humans, essentially. It sounds really crazy, but I guess that's what they're kind of aiming for. But it's really interesting that we have these moments humanizing the Decepticons, because at the same time, we have these moments later on that are going to villainize the Autobots because of the horrors of war, right? And it's very interesting. I really like what Daniel Warren Johnson is doing with this. So we turn over to a new scene. We are in Cybertron, and we see that Cliffjumper wakes up after being thrown off course and no longer in Optimus Prime's hand by the end of the last issue that dealt with the main story, which was issue 12, I think. And he is, in Cybertron. He's kind of waking up. He's trying to figure out what's going on, and he is found by some other Autobots that are still on Cybertron. He's found by Warpath and Blue Streak and Blur. And Warpath to me looks like, what's his name? Is it Hound? The one that's like a police car? He looks very similar, but, I don't have an encyclopedic knowledge of all of the Transformers characters, so I could be wrong there. But overall, I'm pretty happy with this interaction here. It's nice to see more Autobots, although they are significantly more fucked up than than the ones that we're used to, right? And they're kind of going to travel across this area of Cybertron. They're trying to do it stealthily, and when they find a Decepticon, they assassinate him in cold blood. It seems almost like villainous the way they do this, right? And so they are villainized here, and Cliffjumper doesn't like the way that they're doing this, because I guess the Optimus Prime faction of the Autobots is a significantly more pacifistic version, right? And they mention this. They say that being with Optimus has changed them. That the Cliffjumper is more soft than he used to be, which I guess is true. I'm not really sure though. So we move on here at this point to go back to Earth, where we see RC and Optimus having a conversation. She's very sad about the situation that's been happening. She's upset, and she's essentially crying. And Optimus at this point, tells her that he's proud of her, that he's happy that she's here. And it almost seems like a father-daughter moment, right? A daughter that has gone through a difficult experience, that's trying to seek some comfort, and a father that is trying to make sure that she understands that she is still loved and cared for, and that they will do their best to get on with this, right? And I think it's pretty interesting. She and Beachcomber and the 2 kids will go off to find Magnus. They're going to go find him and look for him. And Beachcomber actually says something really important here to Optimus Prime. He says that maybe it's a good idea for Optimus and company to leave, to not be on Earth anymore, because hopefully that'll make the Decepticons leave, and this planet will no longer face war on the scale that the Transformers can bring, right? And Optimus understands the point of view, but ultimately rejects it, mostly because at this point he knows that the Decepticons will not leave. They want the resources of this planet, they want a new home, and by accident or by providence or whatever you want to call it, Optimus and the Autobots have led them here. And now it is their duty to remove them, right? As hard as that might be, as difficult as that might be, and as much death as might come from it, right? At least that's what I'm extrapolating from this. Optimus doesn't say this directly, but I can kind of understand that, right? And so he ignores Beachcomber's what's it called, desire to get them to leave, right? At this point, Wheeljack shows up and he's like, hey, Optimus, we hear that there's an attack on the city. The Decepticons are on the move. We should go out and fight them. And Optimus calls for the team to roll out, and they go to try to save the humans. They're trying to help a bus get moved so that it can continue to go on and get it out of the rubble. And as this is happening, a human military force shows up and starts shooting Optimus Prime with their tanks. And at this point, Optimus Prime loses it. He goes berserk, he gets angry, he bends the tank's gun, and he starts to pummel it. And it almost seems like he's gonna kill these humans. And so the humans and their assumptions are proven right? This is a villain, right? The thing is that Optimus is not a villain. He's just having a very weird situation going on. And Wheeljack manages to snap him out of it, and they go back home, defeated both emotionally, morale-wise, and physically, right? By humans and the Decepticons. And this is a very sad moment for me. I think that it sucks to see Optimus Prime so messed up, right? Because he like, his car mode looks fucked up to hell. Like, it's ridiculous, right? And they had to leave in a hurry. And we see that Soundwave and Scrapper are up in a hill somewhere looking down on the scene. And they have a conversation about how they should seize this opportunity to get rid of the Autobots. But for whatever reason, Soundwave tells them that that is not the goal, that they are going to be doing something else. And they need them to still exist for the moment. At this point, Soundwave sends Ravager, I think it's Ravager. Maybe it's Laserbeak. I think it's Laserbeak, actually, because he flies, to go do something. We don't know what he's doing, but we know that he cannot come back to Soundwave until he completes the objective. So we don't know what it is, but it's pretty important, I guess. And back at the Ark, Optimus and company try to revive another Transformer called Trailblazer. And as they're about to do this, Astro Train shows up and carpet bombs the area, and he releases Starscream and all of the other Decepticons he has. And we see that Optimus is about to attempt to attack them when Starscream and his group just kind of flow by them. Like, they don't care about the Autobots at this point. And it's because we're seeing a bit of a civil war between the Decepticons, and the Autobots are completely ignored. And at this point, Starscream tells the Combaticons to combine, and they create Bruticus. And that's what this scene is referencing. So awesome stuff, dude. I really enjoyed this issue. I thought it was great. I like the philosophizing that happens here, the way that the characters are being treated differently from what you would expect. It's very deep, it's very interesting. And it's something that I don't really see all that often in Transformers media, at least not the media that I've consumed in the last couple of years. But I am not a super fan, right? I've not seen everything about Transformers. I know more than your average person, but I'm not, super deep into it, right? But it's an interesting change of pace because Optimus Prime is always kind of this paragon of goodness, right? Even though he does kind of go psycho sometimes in the Michael Bay movies. So it's very interesting to see him like this. And it also harkens back to some of the other movies that I've seen recently, like Rise of the Beast, where Optimus is a younger, more angry version of himself, right? And this works because we see that paragon of justice and goodness, as well as that young berserker man that he is, right? So it's very interesting. I really, really enjoyed it. But there really isn't too much else to say, so there you go. That's Transformers number 15. Let me know what you thought down below. Thank you so much for watching, and see you guys later.